An unexpected obstacle has been thrown in the way of Deputy President William Ruto's bid to unify the Rift Valley bloc behind him as he strategizes to take the presidency in 2022. His allies who spoke to the Star say the nullification of the election of two rebellious MPs this week is a poisoned chalice that could stir emotions over Ruto's plans. Although it is High Court Judge Kanyi Kimondo who nullified their election, the immediate former Nandi Hills MP Alfred Keter and his Marakwet East counterpart Kangogo Bowen have blamed the Jubilee leadership for their predicament. Read, Ruto must go. Eldoret chants after court nullifies Alfred Keter's win. Their losses have stoked anger and celebration in parts of the populous Kalenjin nation among those who believe they were fixed, and those who think a headache has been removed from the DP. Managing restless MPs, some of whom have openly challenged his dominance in Rift Valley, and neutralizing Baringo Senator Gideon Mwa's presidential hopes remains Ruto's big headache on the road to 2022. Yesterday, politicians from the Rift Valley concurred that the nullification of the duo's election had set the stage for another round of contests. The DP has the option of ignoring the rebels and allowing them a free hand to pursue their own political paths or reach out to them for the sake of 2022. The unapologetic rebels have already trained their guns on the enemy. As you have all seen, these two people don't want us in their administration, and the judgment annulling my election as your MP speaks volumes of government interference, Keter told his supporters on Thursday in Nandi Hills. Keter has said he will not appeal the High Court ruling and was not expecting any favors from Jubilee Party, which sponsored him in last year's general election. I want to face the electorate. The journey has just begun. We might even be denied the Jubilee ticket. I know that I will not be given the ticket, but I will announce the way forward, he told supporters after the ruling. He has his gun loaded. You know it started from the Nis saga with your own son Kitlamorugat, Felix Koskai, and Waiguru, and now see what they have done to the ministries handed to our people, Keter added. Other MPs considered rebels within Jubilee include Kanyus Imaruidakurs Johannangano, and Moyibans Silas Tyron. At different points, the MPs have accused Jubilee of trying to intimidate independent-minded leaders and failing to fulfill campaign pledges. Indicatively, Ngano on Thursday dared Jubilee to a political fight in Nandi Hills. We cannot be intimidated because the truth cannot be hidden. The war of Armageddon has just begun. We are going to speak to the people. We cannot accept to be crucified. We will stand with the truth, said Ngano. Petitioner. The case against Keter had been filed by Bernard Kitcher, an independent candidate, who took over the case after the initial petitioner, Robert Kamai, withdrew. As the news of the nullification swept across the region, Mozup MP Vincent Tuwai said Keter's predicament had drawn the battle lines in Rift Valley between loyalists to Ruto and rebels led by Keter. However, he cautioned that the battle could be destructive rather than helpful to the Kalenjin community if it is not nipped in the bud. What we see as a small issue may turn out to be terrible, and the loser will be the Kalenjin community. Because both the so-called rebels and loyalists have supporters and may go out to destroy each other, Tuwai told the Star. The Jubilee MP said the party and leaders from the Kalenjin community should sort out any emerging problems raised by the rebels before they explode. Tuwai warned that Keter's team comprised young leaders who have little to lose if they engage in any political battle. They have the future with them and, as of now, they can fight like suicide bombers with nothing to lose, said Tuwai. The MP said the battles could undermine Ruto's 2022 presidential bid. As leaders, we need to talk with Keter and his team and, as a community, give Ruto the backing he needs in 2022 instead of staging in-house battles, said Tuwai. Keter's ally Tyron said the tribulations of his colleague were political and will be tackled politically. As friends, we have many options and we will be guided through consultations with all people, but most importantly the Wanankai, said Tyron. He said it was too early to tell which party Keter should contest on and more consultations were needed. Ruto's allies were careful about commenting on the Keter saga. "Keter is my friend, but we will talk about these things later," Kanyi, one of Ruto's staunchest supporters, told the Star on the phone. However, former Bomet Mayor Kipkemoi Barsumai said some Kenyans should stop diverting attention and shifting blame to the DP simply because they want Keter to be re-elected. He noted that it was unfortunate that Keter's political career was at stake. "The law is clear as to an election to be nullified. The judge used his wisdom. We wonder why some people are accusing the DP of having a hand in it," said Barsumai. Opposition politician Kipkerer Menjo said Keter could be facing a well-calculated scheme to finish him politically. "He needs to consult and do some soul-searching before making the next political move," said Menjo. Former Cabarnet Town Deputy Mayor Joshua Mtai said Keter's loss was a political witch hunt. He said Keter's issue affects not only the Nandi and Kalenjin communities but the entire country. "Everyone has got freedom of speech, movement, owning property and leadership, but dictatorial rule is manifesting itself early," said Mtai. The nullification of the two, among 11 other elections squashed countrywide by Friday, has amplified debate that has been simmering in Rift Valley since Keter, Tyron, Bowen and Embakasi South MP James Gikuyu were ejected from key House committee positions last month. The four had defied the resolutions of a party parliamentary group meeting chaired by President Uhuru Kenyatta that had agreed on a preferred lineup of committee leaders. Through their own lobbying, they outwitted the party and got elected in the House. They rebuffed pressure to step down from the positions to be allocated to others. An attempt by the party to de-whip them from the committees, thereby making their positions null, was frustrated when they obtained a court injunction. It took the intervention of the president, who summoned Jubilee members of the committees to State House and issued firm instructions to remove them through choreographed no-confidence votes. The case is yet to be heard and determined, and the MPs have complained that Parliament's independence was being violated by executive fiat. It seemed to end the matter until 2 weeks later, when Keter was dramatically arrested for allegedly presenting fake treasury bills at the Central Bank of Kenya, together with 2 directors of Desai Industries. Keter said he had intervened to assist Madot Chakcher and Arthur Sakwa, as a legislator, and was responding to an invitation by CBK Governor Patrick Njoroge. It is not the first time that the vocal legislator is running against the authorities. In 2015, Keter found himself in trouble after he was captured on camera threatening and insulting officers manning the Gilgil Bridge along the Nakuru-Nairobi highway. He was caught on camera with a nominated colleague, Sonia Birdi, invoking the president's name to demand the release of her lorry that had been impounded for exceeding the weight limit. The MP was later charged with causing a public disturbance and threatening public officers. He denied the charges in a Naivasha court.